So in the Qur'an, there is a concept of a just war. At the time of the Prophet's community in Medina, it was a militaristic world. Everybody was fighting everybody. And there was no United Nations. There was no sovereignty of nations. There was no laws of war. It was a dog-eat-dog world. In that context, the Qur'an regulates that state of war and says you are allowed to defend yourself. You are allowed to fight in certain circumstances. Exactly. And with these restrictions, that you're only allowed to fight people that are fighting you. You're not allowed to fight against people who are civilians, using contemporary terminology, non-combatants. And even in Christian Europe, the Catholic Church developed its own, but the Christians had their own doctrine of a just war as well. So this is not something which is unique to Islam. So what people do in today's times, unfortunately, there are Muslim extremists, terrorists,
I've been told they're the true Muslims.
It's quite clear that they are taking a very it's not even literal. It's an illiterate understanding of the Quran. It's reading verses.
So it's a book. Someone said, I think it's Winston Churchill, if the Quran didn't exist, all the problems would disappear.
Well, that's not really true, is it? I mean, because the world's always
all this with Muslims.
No, it's not about that either. Muslims are within the Quran itself. There are principles for Muslims to live harmoniously with people of other faiths. And in fact, this is something which is unique to Islam, I would say. Islam actually has like the theological bandwidth, the capacity to interact and live with other faiths. And that's what Muslims did historically. Muslims lived with Christians, lived with Jews. They used to live in Muslim lands, whereas it was actually the reverse. Christian Europe, in Christian Europe, Muslims and Jews weren't welcomed. So it's only with the secularization of Europe that Muslims suddenly became more welcomed here. So what these terrorist types do, they will take these verses about just war, about the principles of war, they take it out of context and they use it in order to justify their activities.